You see what Anelo was saying? It's not that they must be killed or anything. It's just the thing of you comfortable saying kafir. How about you do community service, correct, or Alex, or somewhere in a black neighborhood, and mingle with the people that you so-called hate.
China, when China says, I'm going to give you generators, you need to speak to China and say, no, I'm having this problem. Can you give me something to solve this problem?
Yeah, give me transform.
Not something to live with this problem. Because if you are saying that I can light this thing when the lights are off, then you're telling me that I'm going to live with this thing. I need this thing gone.
Yeah. Look at
that shit at the fair. That shit. You know, like, I think our government, they don't give a shit about us anymore. Like, Abasar Taba. Like, when I know, they literally chewing in front of our faces. Literally chewing in front of our faces and chewing our money.
And it's like,
I cannot for the life of me. I've been auditioning for 13, 14 years. So I must say now it's the TikTokers' fault that I'm not making it. No. What are you doing to upskill? What are you doing to appear? What are you not doing? You're so look. Yes, Eugene is just being a good guy by saying, guys, my talk about deserve it. Welcome to Global Streetz Live Podcast, right here on the YouTube, easy, and all other digital streaming platforms, easy. It's the home of, pop culture discussions. That was a moment, but we're not going back. Yeah, it's the home of all kinds of pop culture discussions and where people make me a simp because they laughed at me. Guys, working with boys is very difficult. But shout out to you, man. It's the A-team. My name is Karen Mtetsunyambo, the uncle from the ghetto, doing big things in the city, and make sure that you stay where you are, because to my left, which is your right, I've got the boy Jeezy, makes everything so easy. That's why they call him Khoza. And to my right, which is your left, got LSG, the man who I wish had a less ego, less sejo. And on the other side, we got Batman, the Dark Knight. We call him Namain, we call him Kagiso. In case you like, who does Kagiso, does Namain? No, it's the same person. That's you don't get
different personalities.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. If you got the VVIP, you already know that's you, the street squad. What's going on with me today? Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in wherever you are tuning in from. Thank you, and don't forget to comment, share, like, subscribe. And most importantly, hit that notification bell so we can hear you coming all the way down the street like the ice cream man. I don't know if you can. It's going with the babes. But you already know, man, Bastrata. Speaking of strata, sure, my gents, Ashleganai. The team.
Oi, Ascard, Juvicho, Simnant.
You know what I want to say, actually? I was thinking about this the whole week. This is the moment. Wait for it. Hello, December. We're finally in it, man. Shout out to you guys for making it this far. What kind of week has it been for all of you? Who's got something to share for the babies?
Give us some sauce.
Yo.
When he says yo, he's about to cook.
So we always hear the stories of big people, like your celebrities or artists that fall off, right?
Yeah.
So normally they will put it on having too many friends, right?
Okay.
And sometimes they will put it on sleeping with many girls or sleeping around a lot. Right? So they will say that was part of their demise. They had too many friends, right? So the question that I want to pose to you guys is, between having too many friends and sleeping around a lot, which one do you think contributes a lot more, or which one do you think is going to bring you down a lot more sooner between the two? Having too many friends and sleeping around with too many girls. Now I'm talking from the guy's perspective.
Is it part why I must shut up? Because now you say
no. Obviously, you're part of the boys, so you are the boy.
You are the boy.
My input is that both can, depending on your addiction. But I think what's more stronger is when you can't say no. So remember, you can have a lot of friends, but if all of them are coming, LSG, Anka 2000,
sure,
Anka 1000, you don't want to, but because you can't say no, you're gonna go broke. But now, if you're a public figure, and a nowhere,
Yeah.
and you just take all of them and you can't say no, it's also a problem. So I think both.
Depends on which addiction rules you.
Yeah.
I agree, but like to a certain extent, actually I do agree, you know, but like I've got my own twist to it. Because I just genuinely feel like friends and who you end up with or who you sleep with can work one of two ways, either to your demise or to your success, believe it or not. Because it's just that people aren't open about it, but there's some people that screwed each other and actually had a more platonic relationship that it actually turned out to be. I don't know if you guys saw a video by Casper Nyovest a couple of weeks back, and he was like, yo guys, I'm gonna have a story time. There's a hand that, you know, I saw somewhere and I ngad her.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah, like I ngad her, and at that point I was like, I could make her cheeks clap. But I don't know what happened, and it didn't happen. So she was just on my contact list until I was going through something heavy. And she was there, and she was exactly what I needed in that moment. So it's not always for well, when you think about it based on like the repercussions or the bad things that can happen, you honestly think they could work to your demise. But if you think about it, I'm gonna like make an example on myself for people that don't like know me personally. Friends have been my everything, you know. I don't have like a really strong family background, and majority of everything I have or everything I stand on right now, or the food I'm able to get or the money I'm able to make, is because of my friends. They opened those doors for me. They gave me that opportunity. 99.9% of the time, if I need to cry, it's definitely my friend who's on speed dial and not nobody else. So I don't know. I would never really think of friends as to your demise, but also that could work to my demise, because it means if things come together when they eventually do, those same friends are the ones that could switch up and be like, oh, by the way, I used to feed you, or I used to open doors for you. So it really depends. But right now, I'm not in a position to speak badly about like friends, because they help me bury my mom. They help me live my life daily. If I have no one, they are the only ones that can really get to me when the building comes crashing down. So the people you sleep with also, I've had people that I had relationships, romantic or sexual relationships with, that now understand me in a way that most people wouldn't understand me. So we're able to talk, even though that sexual part of it is no longer there, it doesn't happen a lot. Yeah. So I just think also it's about your obsession, your addiction. And my obsession and addiction is having good quality relations. Yeah. They will outrun anything that we can do for each other now, because if the foundation is good and it's solid, regardless of whether you guys break up or it doesn't work out, you just have something that's really special. So I don't think it could work to your demise. But if those people decide to switch up, they could fuck me up for real.
Yeah, hey, it's a very tricky one. But I think like how Namani explained it, it's more on your addiction as a person.
Yeah.
You know, I think that is what will either make or break you. At this point, I would also be on the side of saying, I'm also listening to what you're saying, to say you've always just had good friends. And it's in this day and age, it's very rare, you know, to find friends who are really there, you know, especially if you have so many friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes, you'll have maybe 2 or 3, but the rest will just not.
Yeah, they don't hit the spot like that. Yeah.
So I think in your situation, you're very lucky. It's something that doesn't always just happen. You know. So it's an interesting.
Well, what do you think? Because you put
yeah, it's a crazy one.
So I think I'm gonna answer my own question.
Yeah.
Right? So I think between having too many friends and sleeping around with too many girls at your prime, friends. But I think it also comes to what Namani was saying.
Like it always goes back to what he
You
said.
can have too many friends, but if you don't have a no, because obviously, if you are at your prime and you're the most famous person, probably the most famous soccer player or whatever, your niggas are going to come to you and say, let's go to a certain place, because they know what you're going to be the person,
Shine, yeah.
right? So, and they know what if we go to Kwanka or we go to that club, then we have a guest list because you're getting in for free.
Yeah, that's
So
what's
we
up.
can-
And we have a rider. We have a
Exactly.
rider.
So they going to use you if you don't have a no, like you are saying, like he said. They're going to use you and they're going to make sure. And there will be a time whereby you fall off. And when you fall off, then all of them, they're going to disappear. So I think it comes down to what he said when he said, if you don't have a no, because especially if you know what you have a lot to lose, you just need to tell these niggas that, no, I'm not going there.
I guess. It
Oh
goes
no,
with
as a soccer player, I need to go to practice. I need to stay at home because I've got a game tomorrow.
You know, it's also like with laymen, normal citizens. O share by highly paid. Either book about your phone, you're in the plan. Kapa machita battle phone, you're in time this weekend. So they know when you're gonna get paid, when you don't have money. So you can see that before you climb. But if like no, as a normal layman, but you can say I can not. So just having that ability to say no, it'll take you far.
And also having a good foundation for your friendships, because I feel like let's not be quick to call each other friend. Like there are people who like compartmentalize your relations. I have group friends that I know if I want to have a good time, these are the people that I need to roll with. I know when I'm having a tough time, these are the people that I need to roll with. And then there are my friends who are usually the definition behind friends is people that are there for all seasons or all 4 seasons.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so let's not now, the people that are there, because they are bees and they sing the honey. But you know,
I think 90% of our contacts or people we know, they're just acquaintances.
yeah.
And colleagues or what. So we mix the words. Like you're saying, if
Just because we're familiar with one another doesn't mean reading
We're friends.
So that for me, that's why I say if the foundation is good and you guys know what you're doing and you respect each other like platonically at the base of everything, you will always be able to. Because there's a certain friend that you know, regardless of come what may, can try out. You know what I mean? So if the foundation is good, I feel like it because that person also knows how to regulate themselves based on what they want to do with you, what they ask you for, and the opportunity they bring to you. Yes? No?
True.
Oh, Monday, yeah. It. But anyway, there's some, one thing, guys, about Global Streetz and pop bars and what. So here it was me, I'm chilling there in my bedroom like a one at it, I am, you see. So now, you know that we're in the YouTube playing field, right? So we gotta know who is sharing the bread, you know what I'm saying? So there's these people that I liked, because I love TikTok, like I'm an avid TikTok lover, and I love doom scrolling, just endlessly on my phone. So there's this one G that I am so fond of. He's a creator doing big things. His name is Sonwabile. He's super huge on TikTok, super huge on YouTube and Instagram. So he calls himself Itian. I think it's Khoza for like a boy, like boys in. He's a young boy who had a beautiful come up. He's a menace. I will say he's a menace. He came up because he likes to scare popular boys' girls. That's how he came up. Like it's part of his claim to fame. Just so you know who Sonwabile is. So I think you guys know Ghost Ruby, right?
Sure.
He scathed Sima. 9-9.
Can you maybe describe scathe? What
Scathe is a...
scathe?
Oh, so top dog. Go on, boy. I'm gonna take your girl.
Oh,
like Trey Songz's tagline, Mr. Steal Your Girl. That's Sonwabile's brand.
yes, it is. Super sneaky.
Yeah, no. So he's like scared. No, but it wasn't the vibe. But he's just that guy who's very ballsy and gutsy and very chaotic. But at the core of it, like he's just but he's just like, they call him the Rizzler Bear. He's the king of Riz. Okay, that's 2000s language. Like for the babies, he's a Rizzler Bear. He's a Wizard of Oz. Like he's a god when it comes to like the Riz babies. So right now he's really popular for scathing a lot of Ghost Ruby's girls. Because there was a recent one, I think her name is Jay Adore. She dated Ghost Ruby after as well. Ghost Ruby broke that girl's heart and then went back to Sima. And then Sonwabile was like, scathe again. Scathed. Like, and he doesn't do it out of intention of just really loving these girls. He's just being a menace. Like, it's just because he's a real god. Like, like I think Thomas and taught. He's young, he's cool, super funny. And he's got a very contagious personality. Always has a group of hands around him. He's Hitian, man. Like he's a, you know what I mean? He's just that boy. Super witty content as well. He likes doing like the funniest videos, but and also he's got a very raw, uncut personality. So I think that's also one of the reasons why a lot of people like him. But that's not the reason why I'm bringing Sonwabile into the conversation. I'm just giving you context of who he is and how he got popular because he's well on his way up. So while I'm doom scrolling there, need I say less? He likes this platform called Kick. He likes it, like they stream videos and he likes interacting with these fans. So it's like little lives where they can interact. And he likes to meet Hanabu celebrity in his head. Okay. He's like a super cool guy, super relatable. So he was having an interaction like video with his fans, and that's when these two little white kids, for lack of a better word to describe them, joined, and it was just like, conversation, and we were making jokes. You know how you can just make jokes, but like moral compass will tell you don't go above certain things.
Don't cross a line.
Yeah, so they're laughing, ha 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 ha. Aria, but you an EFF kafir. And they say that to Sonwabile.
Shit.
And Sonwabile's like, whoa, that's not nice. And then he X'd them out of the live, kept it moving. One thing about Sonwabile, I'm going to tell you something. Very hard on the surface, but also very kind. If there's something about him, he'll never be like, yeah, what that? He's just like, whoa, that's a you thing. I don't like it. Out. I liked how he handled it, but that is the clip that he posted on his Instagram. And because of the sensitivity of our country around things like that, because of our apartheid, in case you don't have context, that video blew up.
Yeah, no, it will definitely blow up. And
it blew up. And I think it's about the sensitivity around it. I'm not sure. But for my side, I just really like how he handled it. But do you guys think that as a country, 28, 29 years into a democracy, this is cool? Like, do you think this is it? Like, having young, you can see those kids are like 15, 16. And you think, I'm saying, let's make jokes, let's laugh. And you're going to tell me I'm an EFF kafir. What conversations are these kids' parents having around them? Do you understand? Because this is deeper than a lot of things. But let's just say 29 years into democracy, do you feel like insults like this should really be a thing?
There was something it was like a tweet they read, where they're like, the biggest mistake we did is forgive people that didn't ask for an apology.
Oh my God.
So basically what I'm saying is, for the mere fact that they didn't ask for an apology, you find that they don't see anything wrong in what apartheid did. So, joke abona, they were raised in a household where they think kafir.
They are being raised in a household more than work.
And these kids are young. Man.
Dude.
So, you'd expect it from an older person, 60, 70, because yes, they grew up in that era. Maybe that has not been erased from their mentality, just their themselves. So you're looking at these kids, these are probably 19, 18.
Nah, don't even. Those kids 15, 16.
So that's cool.
Yeah, well, like grade 10-ish.
It goes back, Vela, to what you were just saying or asking to say, what are these parents teaching these children? Meaning, Vele, kuntlum, it's a term
absolutely
that is casually used.
Absolutely.
But can I also add, this thing in psychology about nature versus nurture. Sometimes you might have good parents, but in an environment you live in, it's shitty. So they go to an Afrikaans school.
Yeah.
The neighborhood they live in is Afrikaans predominant. So not only are the parents teaching them kak, but the environment that they're in is teaching them kak. So it's a ripple effect to it. Yeah. Not a lot of people are keen in mingling with black folks.
Okay.
It's a hidden, unsaid thing.
Yeah. Environment does also play a role. This
sensitive, ne?
go for it.
This thing for me, right? Yes, it exposes a lot around those kids, right? It exposes, obviously, probably, definitely the parents, because obviously, like you're saying, if that is a word that is used loosely at home, then definitely you're not going to see anything wrong by saying it on the internet. Because, the fact.
And they laughed. They giggled.
Dog.
They giggled. They see nothing wrong.
this thing exposes a lot, and it also exposes the school too, because sometimes I know that maybe your parents, the teachings of your parents or the environment at home can supersede the things that maybe at school they're teaching you. You're not supposed to say this shit.
Yeah.
This shit is offensive.
Exactly.
This is being racist, right? But sometimes because within your parents, the teachings are a lot more. They speak volumes more than the things that they teach you at school, which is probably maybe morals, right? But it exposes a lot. You can imagine in a family gathering where these kids are growing.
Yeah.
They're throwing these words.
Yeah. Like,
because
you could tell.
You could tell from the video and how he was saying it and the girl laughing.
It's a thing. Yeah, it's like.
There was no shock. There was no shock from the girl.
And
the way he's also saying it, it is
and he's laughing.
Intentional, and it should be malicious.
Yes, the intention was very malicious.
But you know what also pisses me off, ne? You find like organizations like the AfriForum, they do not mind going to the ends of earth to burn an apartheid song, a liberating song. But don't do the same for a kid that openly calls people kafir, maybe to ban the word, to make it illegal to say the word kafir. Or when they were trying to ban the apartheid flag, they were against it. They're busy saying, why are you trying to block out history? Basically what I'm saying is, anything that is against or oppressing black people, it's like they take a seat on it. And it's like, deal with that shit yourself. But anything
I gotta get over it. Y'all guys are too sensitive.
to make white people uncomfortable, they said, nah, now you're going too far. Now you're going too far. So hence I say the environment also plays a role. That's why they're so comfortable in saying that. It's like, oh, we are untouchable.
The other thing,
And they know they are.
the other thing to add on what you're saying, so Anele Mdota was saying that these kids, they need to be found so that they can face the music, right?
Did they speak about it on the Breakfast Club?
No, she
Or
said
on
it-
social media?
She tweeted.
Oh, okay.
She tweeted. I can't remember who is the white person, but it's the person is a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
And the person was saying, what you are saying, in essence, you are saying that people should mobilize and go after that kid. That is being irresponsible, right? And then Sizwe Dlomo, obviously, they're friends with Anelum Tota. He came in and he was like, so what are you saying? Are you saying that there shouldn't be any reactions to what?
Repercussions.
Exactly. So to Namani's point, usually when Julius Malema is singing Kill the Boer, struggle song, not literally, right?
Tending to,
You see your AfriForum, you see your
Even Elon Musk,
the last time Elon Musk said something
Even
about
celebs,
it, you know, the Kifness
jump
also
on
said something about it. So all of these people that said something about the Kill the Boer song, none of them have said anything. Meaning that it's very evident that whatever that they feel about, maybe when they feel like they're being, racially attacked, it's double standards. Because you don't have the same energy, or when you don't feel attacked, you're not going to say anything about it.
And I don't know where I read, but I came across, I think it was also like a tweet, where somebody was just giving their opinion and saying they still believe that 80% of the South African, or 80% of South African white people are still racist.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is an example, as you just also said, that there is no reprimanding in stopping this behavior or stopping these racial
and
slurs and whatever.
And look, you see what Anela was saying. It's not that there must be killed or anything. It's just a thing of you comfortable saying kafir. How about you do community service, correct, or Alex, or somewhere in a black neighborhood, and mingle with the people that you so-called hate. You can try rehabilitate them and show them. Because sometimes you find those kids, like they're saying, they're in a predominant African school. they don't come across a lot of black people unless they work
And they
for
don't
them.
know the value, and they're not in spaces that show them
Yeah.
people are actually people.
So how about
These
you
kids
go
need to be read
to the
with? I like
townships
that.
or to what and do community service and see the people that you're degrading, what type of people they are.
It actually like reminds me of the video that I made like earlier on this week where I made a video on my TikTok. It was a little story time, and I was like, guys, I had this one monumental moment in my life where I was in grade 10 and I had a crush on a guy, and I liked him. You know, it was evident that I liked him, and he saw that I liked him, and he sent his friends to come to me and tell me that we can't date. Reason being, there's no one fat in his family, and it would be embarrassing to bring someone like me go board.
That's something.
I could have hated him then, but when I think about it in hindsight, it's not his fault. He's not in environments and spaces that make it okay to bring fat people or see fat people. So when I come, I'm a trigger more than anything to this person. And that's the same thing that I'm picking up from these kids. They are in a situation where if someone skips the robot and it's a black person, their father's going to unconsciously just say, fucking kafir. So they grew up thinking, oh, this is how we treat black people.
Yeah.
This is what they are. EFF. Fucking kafirs when they're watching the news. The kids are, so even though it's not intentional, but you are conditioning these kids' mind to see no value in black people. Do you understand what I mean?
You know, just to go with you on that analogy of school, the other thing, maybe the other part that we have to look at with regards to that guy that said that to you,
Yeah.
which is not a nice thing, right? The other thing he was doing, he was saving you from the insults.
Do you get, like, it's a...
He was saving you from the insults because they probably were going to be more damaging than what he said.
And he sent his friends to say that to me. He didn't even have the balls to say it himself.
Exactly. So the other thing I wanted to say about this white
Situation.
kids thing, right?
Yeah.
If there's one thing that this whole situation shows us, it shows us that this country, because in 2023, you would think as a normal person that, okay, probably the people that were involved in the apartheid system and the white people that believed in it, obviously some of them are old, some of them are dying. So you would think, oh, this thing is actually, they're getting less and lesser. But if you see a kid, and you're thinking to yourself, these people, they're bringing all of these people back.
And one thing I've
that
also
we're not going to go anywhere.
Black people are very kind on such things. Like we don't go, we're very lenient. We don't go as wild as we probably should.
True.
And I'm not saying we should go violent, but like we said, repercussions, let us reprimand strongly on this. We can't just
As
be
much
so
as
casual.
people
about
say
it. Yeah.
EFF are opportunists, one thing they've been consistent with
Right.
is black dignity.
Yeah.
Like now they went to those kids' schools,
Yeah.
like they protested outside the school.
Yeah.
When clicks into those ads for black people, they went to clicks and
Yeah.
whatnot. You understand? So one thing they've been consistent with, although they are labeled as opportunists, they're the only party that black people can think about once they speak bad about black people.
Yeah.
They're like, what
That
did EFF
defend.
do? What? Yeah.
Yeah, that defend black people.
So
represent.
you're right, because I remember there was also that H&M
H&M, yes.
back then. They also reacted to
They
that.
did, yes.
It becomes, yes, sis, also the party that is governing this country, guys. Fuck it. Those are the people that are supposed to
I'm
be
not
saying,
supposed to be laughing.
we are
Sorry,
running this
man.
country, so we are definitely going to make sure that there's something that happens
yeah.
justice-wise to these kids,
set
because
an example.
they're just not gonna have to get away with it just like that.
Let's set an example.
Take them
Somebody
somewhere.
needs to be taught something.
Exactly.
Because it's going to continue and continue. And
But we
we are
must
going
learn
to,
too
you see this, if nothing gets done with this,
not.
others are seeing it, there's probably going to be more of these coming up.
It's
Nah,
not
we-
too
we-
much.
You know what I'm saying that it's
we're
not
not
too much,
asking
but
for
I'm saying
too
is if they can't deal with something as load shedding, we think they're gonna go against people
Yeah,
that are
because here we're not asking them to stop eating funds. We're just asking them to be human for once in there. We're not saying give us a 2 million rand budget for this.
Okay, let's look at it this way. Do you know who are the funders of the CR17?
So are you trying to say the people that are running them are white, so they can now come on a...
Yeah, you can't bite the hand that feeds you.
And also,
I'm not saying what they're
Sharp.
keeping quiet is
Yeah, sharp.
but
Hey, I hate
80% of the wealth is in the very same people that
I
are
get
trying to
you.
go against. They're not gonna say shit, man.
The other thing, I understand what
I
you're
hate
saying,
it, but you're right.
And we're not asking too much from ANC or the government, right? We're not asking too much. Number one,
Hey,
the kafir word, it's exactly, and it's a hate speech, so it's illegal to say those things. So we're just asking for justice. Yes, maybe you're not gonna send the boy to juvenile, but make him do something.
Fucking send them to juvenile.
I get what Kagiso is saying. Kagiso is just saying, guys, we get it. It hurts. It's sensitive, but let's be realistic. It's never going to happen. Not that they don't want to do it, but you know who runs the show.
For me, being realistic, best thing we can do
Sure.
is we do it ourselves. You see that mob justice stuff? I'm not saying they must kill the kid. But no, what I'm saying, mob justice is the community saying, we're taking initiative, we're going to do something about it. Because if you're going to leave it in the hands of the government, of course.
So as a community, then what do you think the community is supposed to do?
Better
or
than
make
kids.
these kids do?
Not for the kids themselves, but hold the government accountable.
Or so we need to hold the government.
Okay, that's a smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that why
You need to
even
find them in
now
smart ways.
the word
Right.
kafir is not made illegal.
Yeah, and that's a concern on its own. Why is this legal?
Yeah.
I like a flaggy. Julius Malimabina killed the boy and not sensitive. Ronaldo Bitari Kafir. Man, guys, you guys are too sensitive. Get over it.
Get over it. Apartheid was so long ago. Hey. Once all kafir in Chaka. In
Chankane.
yeah,
that's
5 years in.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
I think then we need to cultivate.
These ones must go in.
Government is not proactive in such things.
Well, now we know why. So we need smarter ways of pushing them into the corner to do something.
And also the other thing, this government makes me sick. Because the other thing, you are letting these kids get away with shit.
murder. Yeah.
The next kids are going to be thinking to us, oh no, that's
look
what's going to happen to us.
Look at those farmers that took that farmer and they put him in a casket. They didn't get much time. That old guy, that Anashapangwana Kastunya, that 16-year-old with the gun.
I remember.
He didn't get jail time. That guy who was a big shot of some company where he was taking a video at the beach and he's like, oh, look around, there's no kafirs on site. He got a slap on the wrist. So what I'm saying is,
Penny Sparrow.
yeah, the government is just about like,
They need to make an example with these people.
Yeah,
But look at Jews, for example, now. Once you go anti-Semitic, they're gonna hang you, bruh.
But
They're gonna hang you. I mean, look at even the person as rich as Elon Musk. What they're doing to him now, they're really defunding him with the adverts. If us black folks can have the same energy,
You know what? I'm just gonna bring it back and tie it up and say, I don't want to lie. I don't know if you guys are just noticing. I'm trying not to say much because it hurts.
It does.
And I'm as a parent, having my child having to grow up in a space, it hurts. I am sick of it. I am tired. But until we find ways to deal with this in a way that we can, I'm just gonna say shout out to Sonwabile for dealing with it with so much grace. Thank you. I know it hurts. And the comment section was with him like, yo, Dwana hard. And I just like how he handled it with grace. I feel like it's not fair.
But that's the leniency I'm talking.
Yeah, you get.
To say, I would have expected him to react however way, and
But he was gonna be the bad guy after.
that would have been okay for him to.
But
react
he would
like
have been the bad guy.
because I feel like there's no. We can't negotiate that.
Facts.
There's no. That's why I'm saying. Somebody walks up to you, calls you a kafir.
Shag is
I'll
the
fucking
man.
yes. I'll take out again and fucking shoot him.
That's facts. But shout out to Sonwabile because I feel like I understand the vision behind it. He didn't want to pass on the pain, carry it on. He wanted to be responsible. Shout out to him, even though I feel like it makes me angry. And speaking about anger, because I'm just angry, bruh. We have to shoot podcasts in a hurry because the lights are going to go off. It's load shedding. Now China wants to do something about, like, hey, guys, see,
Talking about China.
I'm angry. Like, it's all about the grrr.
From China. So I don't know if you guys heard, the Chinese government is donating generators to South Africa. So the Minister of Electricity recently announced it, but I think it was like 2 months ago when he did. So they're going to be donating, I think, 450 generators to, South Africa. So the purpose of this is just so that it can, it can just assist in the public entities such as your clinics, hospitals, and other public facilities, So
Hey, my boy.
that's
One of the donations.
that's what I'm also saying. To say, what is the catch? To say,
Hey, that's a bad way of putting it.
It looks like something that we are happy for. Actually, we are happy for that.
Yeah.
However, I'm also a bit worried about the catch.
Yeah. Well, what's the catch?
But our country to pay for that.
For the longest of time.
Yeah, we have.
Bad stuff. Like nobody does nothing out of free will.
We have. Heavily.
What are they getting?
What are the conditions?
Or is it like a bricks thing? Like the whole story.
Look, they're not gonna just give us.
Yeah, the one thing about
Gonna
life.
benefit somewhere somehow. I'm not saying China's bad, but if you look at other African countries where they've been helping them with infrastructure, those governments, when they weren't able to pay back, they would take maybe a port or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So this generator,
Yeah.
because if you look at it, they're not really alleviating load shedding. A generator is not going to help the grid.
Yeah.
It just means the hospital must be able to operate during load shedding.
yeah, true.
And another thing is, petrol air, ito pumpan generator, Kyoto guy.
You're cooking.
Yeah.
So they're not really looking into solutions of load shedding. Fine, but what are they doing about load shedding?
It's not their problem at the end of the day.
This generator story for me, it says just one thing. It says that especially if this government is going to accept all of those generators that are donated by China, it says to me they are putting in place things that are supposed to make us live better with load shedding.
They're going to
Instead of
relax.
speaking to China, when China says, I'm going to give you generators, you need to speak to China and say, no, I'm having this problem. Can you give me something to solve this problem?
Yeah.
Give me
Not
engineering.
Transform.
Not something to live with this problem. Because if you are saying that I can light this thing when the lights are off, then you're telling me that I'm going to live with this thing.
With
I
this
need
thing.
this thing gone.
Bro, look at BRICS. India, Russia, China. They're superpowers of the world, bruh. Sure. Give me 30 engineers in each country to come help me. We've been living with load shedding for like 5 years. You tell me in 5 years they couldn't, just like during COVID when they brought those doctors, they couldn't bring engineers to come help us decipher whatever problem that we can solve.
But also, let's look around the actual problem. You know, guys, I don't know. You can correct me. I know you guys will. But I think when you look at a problem and you look at the solutions, the mainstream solutions around it, you get to realize what the real problem is. Because if the real problem is that there's a thorn in my flesh, and then all the help that you guys are giving me while you're seeing the problem, you're like, let's massage him. No, take the thorn out of my flesh. Do you understand? So it really shows Uguti, I'm also not having a problem with the thorn in my flesh. Because you are also told, well, it's one of two ways. One thing that I see is that if someone decides to help you, you can't really tell them how to help you. You just have to say thank you, one. But on the other hand, halenka degenerator escape.
Yeah.
Now, what? Even though their solution doesn't really help our problem. But I shapiko. One, you are putting us. We are susceptible to these people because now we owe them a scave. Scave for scave. That's how life works, right? And then, second of all, you guys are gonna take these generators, but clearly you are saying to us that are thinking and looking at you that no, guys, fuck all of you. This thing, load shedding, is somebody
But look at it
The
also
funny
like
thing-
this. After our last episode, podcast, I read somewhere where VW is contemplating of leaving because of load shedding. Remember, VW owns like your Porsche, your Bugatti, Audi.
Yeah.
So if it leaves a huge chunk of what money is invested, jobs as well, they're going to leave.
That's funny.
Sorry.
But now, if we can make a sustainable grid, imagine how many jobs and companies closed because of load shedding.
Yeah.
Bro,
The economy was going to go up again.
Yeah.
Maniga,
You would verify the generator. Generator.
You can't run a factory that is and generator.
Now, guys, now I think great, and I've also been hearing hints, whenever I'm chilling with, maybe the uncles and, people who are older who know the politics star country, body ANC, and you name it. Load shedding is said to be a big sabotage.
sure.
The sabotage here would then mean there is no issue with electricity. What is said is that by Takamabon, they're deliberately cutting power so that somebody gets a tender where you are now buying all the other means of now producing power.
Means of production.
In the form of the generator, in the form of the, gas stoves.
Shut up.
And you name it. You know what I mean?
Because how is it that whenever something monumental happens, the electricity probably can stop?
Look, Shevagarakli, just recently, it was gone. There was no load shedding.
Fact.
During COVID, there was no load shedding. All of a sudden, boom, load shedding is back. Banana Bangwala just recently, metric, right after the rugby, boom, down.
Sure.
Meaning, bakhona. Because if it is really a problem, then that problem will persist.
Fact.
Bokasiri, no, kikulak sanze ki emsebeting fel, type of thing. Gilaban, Saturday, kim kruvo. It just does not make sense.
You cook.
So,
Fact.
sabotage.
Those are big facts, Maniga. The other thing, there's a clip of Penwell at his Penwell podcast.
Yeah.
So he's having a conversation with, what's his name? Waras. DJ Waras.
Okay.
So he was saying that Cyril Ramaphosa, he's making money when there's lights off and when there's lights on. Right?
Yep.
So he's making money with load shedding and without load shedding, right? So when there isn't any load shedding and we have normal power, his company is supplying coal.
Anton?
And then he's got his hands too on the fuel business, diesel and whatever. So when there's load shedding and they have to light up those generators, his diesel is supplying.
Yeah.
So
we have a lot of
know,
bridges. Can't we just hang these fuckers? Because now because now people baporang actually because of load shedding. Some people they live. What's the video where the guy Mazaz, he starts off nice, then after that it's like fuck you, what? My mother lives off an oxygen tank, and if there's load shedding, she struggles.
The risk of
there was a kid also. He moved to North Hiding side.
Yeah.
Who died because now oxygen tank like it didn't have power for her.
That's fucked up. That is really, really
like in such instances, you're already a billionaire.
And coming to that, as a person of, or let me rather say, as a president, you're not allowed to have businesses because now that becomes conflict of interest. Otoba tlaore nyuguya government ifande the business style.
Of course.
Regardless of whether uri totsi before uba president or after. Anton. If ukenamo stulong sawo president, you are now a person or dilang kabatu. So if you're going to have businesses, immediately, feed up business yao. And I think, to be honest, I don't know what the ruling is, but yeah, a few years ago, that's how I thought it was. or how it was.
That's how it's supposed to be, but it's not.
I believe that if it was like that, we wouldn't have this corruption.
Karen is awfully quiet. Y'all bother to.
Nah, like I don't know. I feel like this episode is gonna be so hard. I'm actually keeping in tears because when you guys are talking about like, you know, government and like negligence and all that. Like I lost my mom because of negligence. You guys are talking about oxygen. I lost my mom during COVID because of that.
Sure.
So it makes me so mad because these people keep on doing these things and they know the solutions, but they don't care. Like they don't want to do anything and it's not going to get better because either way you think of it, you're fucked. You want them to do better. The people at the top, if they get pissed, they leave South Africa. We're going to turn like Zimbabwe. You know, shade talk.
Exactly.
So you got to get fucked to move forward. We have to be resilient. We have no other choice than to just be fine and be resilient because the truth is we want things to get better. But guys, for what it takes for things to get better, it means fixing the people that are at the top. And without them, we are fucked. So that's why I'm just like, yeah, we can talk about it. But at the core of it, if we really want them to fix it, we're going to piss them off and they're going to leave. And what for people that have kids, for people that have already been fucked for so many other years, it's just like, just continue fucking me over. The only thing I can do to save myself is be resilient and find my ways through how I can fix, you know, how I can survive. And like, because look at what Lesotho said, right? Lesotho said, Cyril makes money whether the lights are on and the lights are off. As a black person then, humble yourself and deal and deal to the cards that life has dealt you and say, okay, sharp. The big boys at the top are doing this, but me, I need to eat. What can I do to eat? Because the complaining power is not going to do shit. Because if you really, like, at the core of it, I've wanted solutions all my life. And I've realized that, do you really want the solutions? Because the solutions come at your dismay. So I'm at the point that it's either you get resilient and you find your way through the maze, or if you're going to fight for the change to come, it's never really coming. And if it does, you're going to regret it.
You know, just to add to your point, there was once a statement that Julius Malema said, and other politicians have said, but in the States, prominent politicians, sometimes change needs to come with bloodshed.
Thank you.
Malema Kinachwa, you know, sometimes we're so deep into this shit that a revolution would mean bloodshed, where there would be like a civil war. And hence, my initial statement before we have a lot of bridges.
Exactly.
The French Revolution did that. You know, Animal Farm, Hunter. The French Revolution has done that where they went to the monarchy. They're like, you guys are eating, we're not, we're hungry. And they killed the whole monarch, put their heads on a stake.
Thank you.
Basically, I wasn't saying that we must go out.
Yeah, I get you. I
mean, sometimes
they get it.
The power's in the masses. And sometimes drastic changes would need to happen for it to. Bona, the July uprising that happened where walls were being burnt and all that shit. That was just the tip of the iceberg saying we have built up anger, and if shit really hits the fan, it's something that they won't be able to control. And as all should have money, they will just leave. Then they leave us in this shit.
Yeah.
That's the sad part of it. But sometimes for that change to come through, shit needs to hit the fan.
It should hit the fan. It should.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think our government, they don't give a shit about us anymore. Like, Abasar Taba. Like, when I know, they literally chewing in front of our faces. Literally chewing in front of our faces and chewing our money.
And it's like they're chewing and they know you're hungry and they saying to you, what the fuck are you going to do about it? I'm chewing.
But you know, I'm just to risk about all built up with anger. There was, as Nekecho before, Hore, if we built up a unity, Ubuntu, because you know this thing of divide and conquer, it can be said in 1,000 different ways, but that's the only way black men will live. The reason Kecho saw, did you guys see what they're doing to Elon Musk? Where advertisements are pulling off, like your Apple, your Disney, your IBM. It's because of that anti-Semitic comment. So there was one Twitter person, Ola Twitter Hore, like basically like Jews are anti-white. Then Elon is like truth. You understand? So what I'm saying, any touch towards any touch towards Jews, it's like they castrate you. Even Kanye, who alluded to Adidas deal, he said something against Jews. They said something against Jews. Imagine if us black people adopt the same philosophy. But just to go back onto Elon. So he had an interviewer at the Deal Book Conference. Advertisement pulling off from X or Twitter, some people still go by. They must go fuck themselves. Why would you threaten him about money? They must go. So won't that kill X? And it's like it will. But basically he was insinuating the power in the people that yes, X will die if they pull out, but then how can I say, people will know actually what killed it. Understand it. So basically my question is gonna pose, what do you guys think about this cancel culture? Because it seems like now businesses have gone political. Like we don't all have to have the same view, but if our interest is in the betterment of business or society as a whole, what do you guys think about cancel culture where people just want to cancel you simply because how they feel?
You know, first thing, before I get in or I answer your question, if there's one thing, guys, I think if there's one position that each and every single person would like to find themselves in, is when they're being threatened and they just say, go fuck yourself. You can take your shit because I don't need it, right? It's a dope position to be in. Also, it goes with what I would like, the position that I would like to be in.
Yeah.
We see, and I'm going to go back to the government thing just a bit, right? We see all of these things that the government is doing to us. As a person, especially in this day and age, it will be in your best interest to make sure that you build yourself and build the things around you that you don't need to depend on the government for shit. Because you can see that these niggas, they don't give a shit. And they're going to do it to you because it's the arrogance, right? So you're just going to have to build alternative things around you that you don't...
That was my chat.
So it's a position that I think maybe Elon is in. He doesn't give a shit. If these people can leave, I still have other businesses. I still have other things going on about me. These people can leave. It's a dope position to be in. But obviously the cancel culture, you know, the irony about this whole thing in the cancel culture is that most of the time that cancel culture happens on his platform, where people attack other people.
Actually, the irony.
And now,
the irony.
The cancel culture, it's about the platform itself.
Is it going to self-destruct?
Exactly. So, but obviously, it's the companies and the cancel culture. You know how companies, they roll. They always going to be, especially when someone or a bunch of people, they start tweeting and say, are you going to let this go?
Yeah.
Are you going to let this go?
Yeah.
Did you see what he said? Did you see what he said? And then from then they like, fuck it. I need to, pull out from this shit. It's not a good thing because sometimes they attack people that just because you feel a certain way about someone, then when you have a bunch of people agreeing with you, then you sit on the trend list on Twitter or X, and then you're bound to lose a bag from that thing. Sometimes without doing, it's because of people that don't like you. It's not like you did something major or you were insulting people or offended at certain people, but because people do not like you and they've always had a grudge towards you, then you're going to lose your bags.
True.
It's crazy, man. I actually believe with everything you guys are saying. When I think cancel culture, I don't think it's healthy. I think it gives an impression. I don't know. It depends on how you feel and how, because this is basically any decision you make in life is fueled by your what do they call this? Your moral compass. What you value, what means a lot to you, And for me, in everything that I do, love must lead, kindness must lead. And I don't feel like you're being loving or kind in any way if you're saying, because at the core of everything, we make mistakes because we don't understand the intention behind. And I think we had this conversation not so long ago where we were like, this person is abusive, but do you know why he's abusive? I'm not saying it's okay, but if you're really worried about this, then fix it at the root. So for me, cancel culture is and you know what I mean? There's so many people that honestly, if we took the time to dig out the truth we would know better and we would make informed decisions. But it shows that no one is really concerned about the core of anyone or people in their entirety. It's always just it's a hot story. Who seems wrong? This one, okay, you're cancelled. You take no thought about who they are, what came from. For example, if I right now decide to take off this mic and hit OG's face, that's all that's going to be taken into consideration. For all you know, he could have done some really nasty things to me before this podcast, and then we didn't hash it out, and then I just smiled, and then all you see now is me hit it, and then she's delusional, and the people are like, yeah, and also, she had it. It's like the same thing that happened to that poor girl from South Africa. It's the same thing that happened because someone came on social media and said to that poor girl, she bullied me, and then people were like, yeah, and they also, and she didn't only bully their kids, but she also bullied their parents. That's bullshit. How can a 16-year-old bully kids and their parents? Just because people came and they gave that narrative, majority of South Africa decided to cancel a girl who did nothing. Look at Miss South Africa. Miss South Africa didn't even disqualify that girl because all these claims, nah, bruh, Banaba came on social media. Do you know what that child went through with the parents after that? For stupid cancel culture, that is not even true. The problem with her is that she was, if you had context, she's a rich girl that comes from a nice family. Already one, beef na ngoba mina ang sokoli de sokola akol. And then mina, when something is wrong, I'm gonna call it out for what it is because I'm sabi muntu. Yeah, sharp. Now you are spinning the story and say, yeah, because when I everything usutla everybody else. Nah, if I were to chasa rating, who konda 99. And when wow sa buwin ni out bully shima. And then one would try to trap. Now she's a bully. Do you understand what I mean? People don't go find what's the problem at the root cause, and I hate it. It's that same stupid app where someone can come and say something sharp. If you want to come hate me for something, the least you could do is come up with your due diligence. Find out what's going on, and it's you. And people say it's not my responsibility. Shut up! You believed it. You're the gullible fool that can't believe what anyone else says. Why don't you? And you only decide to apply your common sense where it feeds you or where it works in your favor. I hate that stupid concept. It's stupid because if you don't know what's going on at the core of anything, and also who are you? How righteous do you think you are to cancel someone? We all make mistakes, and sometimes some other people with different intentions than the other. But why are you canceling someone? You can say, I don't like what you did. Deal with the problem and not the person. Because this is a person who's going to live. What are you doing to that person if you cancel them? So must they cease to exist? Because you feel strongly about something. I feel like that's whack.
Yeah, not totally. I think
like that's super whack. And I feel like it's even alluding to more anger. And I feel like all the topics are just making me super angry. Dude, but
no, just another thought. Don't you think anything in the power of the masses has good and bad
facts
to it? For example,
yin and yang.
Yeah. So for example, cancel culture can be good if companies de-abuse their workers.
Facts.
Exactly.
Facts.
Racist slurs being said to people.
Facts.
Abuse of power. Because if you look now, governments are scared of. So just to put context also with this X thingamabob, it's not only the anti-Semitic thing that's making people so pissed off. So the US government wasn't always so keen of X not being what you call when the media controls how you say it, what is said, so forth and so on.
No, it's not. Censorship or something like that. Censorship. Yeah.
So Elon, what he did when he took over Twitter and made it X, it's like he took away those safeguards. So basically, if you wanna say fuck China, you're not gonna blur it out.
Like
you understand?
Because it's not like Facebook.
Yeah.
It's not how that's why. Don't say that. Yeah.
That's why Bella Donald Trump back on Twitter. On Twitter and stuff like that. So basically,
you will laugh.
Basically, it's like he's saying, I'm putting the power back into the hands of the masses. Because now, if you look at our news, they'll never say anything bad about Ramaphosa, but they'll never say anything good about Jacob Zuma, so forth and so on.
Yeah.
So what Elon is saying with X is like, hey guys, go at it. Look, and unfortunately, cancel culture to the wrong people or abuse and bullying will be part
but like
of
you say, it can either work or not work.
That's why I get it at the core of it. Do your research.
Yeah.
Find what the real problem is.
Yeah.
Don't just say the reaction and then fly. Do your due diligence and then make. Because my problem is why mobilize people also show what their real problem is? Right now, because Futi said Futek to a woman, you guys are going to come attack. Why I tell Futek? When you know the woman saying, yes, it's wrong, yes. But how little mobilize and then little, do you know what happened?
Yeah, and it's common.
They thought also like Jakapili Karen, auto shapaka Mike, it's a protect to a woman.
No. I feel like you're reading a bit too much into it. No.
Canceling you, dog.
For blanket and just clarity, he did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, those are just
like examples.
Yeah.
I don't want to get anyone angry because I'm angry too. Makhadzi is angry too. A lot of people are angry right now. Like,
so. Let's move from one anger to another.
wow.
Not an anger now.
Hey,
More anger. More angricity.
the theme of the episode is anger.
Facts at this point. Rage.
So Makhadzi is angry at Eugene Khoza because of what he said about Skomota.
I almost thought you're going to say Skomota. I was worried that.
Yeah.
Give it a life.
I know not.
Or is it a nickname?
Probably a nickname.
It should be a nickname. You can't have a name like it.
Guys,
Cancelled.
Nah, you can't.
It's cancelled.
languages.
Nah, but what's Skomota mean?
It sounds like a real name.
Honestly,
It sounds like a real name.
really.
I think it is a real.
It sounds like a nickname.
We have 11 languages in the country, so
Because
you'll never know.
I know these languages and I can't pinpoint Skomota where it would land. But anyway, Asikola, Bob, please don't laugh. People will take it, man.
No, I'm laughing at the way Kagiso's laughing and I'm trying to stop him and he's laughing. I'm trying to say that to him, like, guys, that's someone's name. You
Guys, I was not saying it in a bad way. I was
I'm
just
sorry,
saying
guys.
that it can't be his real name.
Kagiso, stop.
If it is.
His real name.
So let me go back. What was I saying?
We were talking about Skomota. Yo, guys. No.
Not Skomota,
Is the topic
please.
gonna happen? Is the topic gonna happen? Yeah, so what's going on with the boy? Let's get
So Eugene was at Podcast and Chill, right? Makhadzi's podcast. So he was driving a point speaking about Skomota because at the summers, Makhadzi brought out Skomota when she was performing. So he was also performing with her.
Okay.
So what Eugene was basically saying is that, number one, there could have been a kid that is talented that could have been part of that show, who is an actual dancer, or maybe they're attending an art school and they're actually doing this thing professionally. So basically what he's saying is that the platform could have been used better by someone that is in this profession instead of using someone because they are popular now. They very, there's a sensation that's going around this person because suddenly they found themselves trending, on all of these social platforms. So he was saying that this platform that was given to this person that is not a dancer, but he was dancing on stage, it could have been given to a kid that needs this platform.
Yeah.
And the other point that he was driving is that it goes to show that as South Africans, we entertain mediocre.
Bullshit.
We entertain mediocre because we should be focusing on actual important things that are affecting this country. But instead, we're giving attention to someone that's trending. We don't even know what he does. We don't even know what he's about.
He's bait. It's
What
nothing
you're saying
personal.
is
It's
so
bait.
true as well, to say, and this is probably another reason why the government fucking thinks we're just fucking idiots. Because, fine, it's nice to joke, it's nice to play around from time to time. But I think we have a tendency of laughing at everything. Anything that pops up, we jump on it. It's a big thing. Everybody's laughing. We're not correcting. We don't have a culture of saying, okay, guys, this is not funny. Let's show them that we don't like it. Everybody's commenting. Everybody's just coming in, saying whatever they want to say. There's memes, there's this, there's that, So you are right to say we need talent. Let's support talent.
Not me, Eugene.
Yes.
Well, come on.
And I'm saying Eugene must relax. Why is he being the gatekeeper of talent?
No, but there's no talent in Skomota.
You cannot.
But he worked to be where he is.
Look at the core of everything. The fact that he can pull in a crowd as a talent on its own.
It's because we entertain mediocre. That's why.
Oh, mediocre.
So what is
the
his
matrix
talent?
of measurement?
What is his talent?
Oh, you said he's got talent.
I don't know, but his talent is being funny because I just recently saw a video of him on TikTok. He did this, and people would look at it. I was like,
Come on.
so he's just a funny guy.
What else?
No,
before
but
that? What
He's
else?
a crowd puller.
He's a crowd puller.
Yeah, like shit. Like they just.
No, but Shit is different. There's talent there. He's a musician.
Yeah, okay. I'm not trying to say no. I'm talking about whoa, don't you dare. I don't. What I'm trying to say is they have the power to pull the masses. That's just generally.
Why Eugene and I say that talent I have a platform? Why trying to dictate what someone else must do with their platform?
No, like
No,
also,
that's not what he's saying.
Eugene also came. I feel like this was also one of the most controversial things in the country right now. What Eugene said. Look, as a creative, we are all creatives now.
Sure.
He was speaking from a creative point of view, saying, guys, after opportunity why listen? That's how he means it, right? And wait, and then we perceive it as as someone with influence and a platform that mattered to him, and he felt like he needed to voice. He is only liable for what he says, not how you perceive it or how it sits with you, because you are conditioned in your own way. And as a creative, I get that point. But as a creative who is actively working towards something, I have respect for someone who's perceived to have no talent because they are putting in the work to make the noise. And if you are a creative that's worked hard for the opportunity, you studied for the opportunity, but you're not working hard for your visibility. For every person who hasn't made it just as yet, it is equally your fault as well, because you need to push. I cannot, for the life of me, I've been auditioning for 13, 14 years. So I must say now, it's the TikToker's fault that I'm not making it. No. What are you doing to upskill? What are you doing to appear? What are you not doing? You so look. Yes, Eugene is just being a good guy by saying, guys, Mawatoba deserve the opportunity. Mara, the truth is, the people that are getting these opportunities are not people that were sitting in their dining room and people said, here's the opportunity. They were aggro and they went out there and they took it for themselves. And you are mad because you feel like you were more prepared for the opportunity, but you have no skill of grabbing opportunities for yourself.
Let me counter to what you are saying, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Sure. Let me counter to what you are saying, and I'm going to stick to Skomota here. It's no hate. Makhadzi, please, don't come for me. You are saying that you respect someone that is able to get all of that attention because they probably work towards it. I think, if I'm not
work towards it or work raised with it. Yeah, like...
Oh, well, yeah.
What I wanted to say is that with Skomota, it's different, right? And I'm always going to say Skomota and Shit, both of them are two different people. The other one, I believe he deserves because he's something, the other one, right? But with Skomota, he's got all the attention that he has right now, right? But he didn't work towards it.
That's how you feel.
No, he didn't. And I'll tell you why.
He didn't work towards it. He got money. He was bowling with the bowling bitches, getting all kinds of bitches that brought him attention. So he worked towards it.
Nah, he was just living his life.
Exactly. Like, guys,
hold on.
Stop being entitled to how people
let me drive this point first before you guys come in, right? So, what was I saying?
You were saying he didn't work and earn his popularity right.
I'll tell you from what I know, right? So I know Skomota because he was interviewed by this other guy. I don't know the name of the podcast, otherwise I was gonna shut it out because fuck it, same industry. Yeah. So this guy got Skomota on the podcast, and that guy, he gets, especially the people from Limpopo, he normally interviews those people, right? So
I think I know that podcast, like he does it like on his porch and something and just chills with them. Okay, I don't know. Yeah.
It's because of that guy, now there's so much popularity
around the guy.
Exactly. It's because he brought the attention. Yes, there was already something going on about Skomota because...
But he fanned the fire.
People can tell that mentally he's not 100%, right? No offense, but mentally he's got mental illness.
Okay.
We don't know
limitations and stuff. Okay.
Exactly. But people it's interesting because he's able to pull all of these girls, and these are good girls.
The girls are there for the honey.
So, and they are, trust me. But he got money, and then obviously the girls that right. So the attention came to Skomota, right? And obviously, I think it's you who said he was a crowd puller. If it's not you,
both of us
right?
agree on that sentiment.
Obviously, he's a crowd puller. Makhadzi saw that this nigga is a crowd puller. I can rock up with this nigga at the awards. And for me, all of these people can see that Skomota is not well. I'm definitely sure that Skomota, someone is making decisions for Skomota, especially if he needs to make decisions that are supposed to benefit him in life. All of these people, I see them as opportunists. You can see that this guy is not well. You can see that this guy has all the attention right now. All I'm going to do is take this guy and give him a platform. And if I pull this guy or I rock up at the place with this guy, obviously they're going to see me too because I'm rocking up on him. So all of these people, including Makhadzi, the same Makhadzi that is angry, I think all of them, they're using Skomota.
But everyone is using everyone.
No.
But if when you blow up and a company comes to you, is like, yo, NSG 1, 2, 3, they're using you for your popularity.
The thing is, it's nice to know that you're being used.
But what I'm saying is, so someone owning like a mental illness shouldn't be in a position of having faith. What was that man, I think Khoza then what Down syndrome, Kim. No,
Yeah, I remember.
That lady also she was mentally sound.
Sure.
So isn't that also being like Rabajaja because of their mental illness?
No.
Enjoy their fame and I fame everyone.
I think what he's saying is that we're not judging them. We are saying they are not aware that they are probably being used in this
way.
But you know, like in law, you can't sign a contract or anything if you're under the influence, if you don't have the mental capacity and all that. So if they are using him, let's say then they can be brought to the books for that. But what I'm saying is we can't just say he didn't put in the work.
Okay.
No, it was not intentional. It's different.
Doesn't matter.
It matters.
Let's give Khoza a chance to wrap it up for us.
I think we are not. I get what Lesegho's saying. To say, you know what, some things are. I think he feels that, and I also feel like that. I'm actually on his side too. To say,
advantage.
sometimes there is a little bit of unfairness to who gets the gig or who gets,
fact.
Yeah, who gets the gig.
Fact.
Because somebody out there is needing it for,
or more prepared for it.
they might even if they're not on the same level, because obviously now this guy has bloomed, he's big, everybody's loving him, and good for him, However, in an event like this, can we give other children a chance? It's the same thing, Kadi Advete. If you look at a lot of ads for KFC, okay, I'm not going to mention brands, but there's a lot of there's a lot of brands, big brands, who are using the same faces.
Sure.
You are going out there, you're fetching somebody who is already a celebrity, asking them to come and sell your brand. Fine, cool. It's a great business strategy. You're trying to bring a face that everybody knows so that your product can be bought more.
Yeah.
However, if you look at it from a perspective of the people who are still growing into or trying to get into the same field, where are they going to get their bread and butter?
Mm-hmm.
Where are they going to get that opportunity? Because you're constantly using the same people. And like you also mentioned, to say, yes, there are people who are lucky enough to just do something stupid today, and tomorrow they got it. And that's where Lesegho's coming in to say, look, he's not really doing much.
That is.
We can't call it a talent. He's just out there being himself at a bar, at a restaurant.
Can I wrap it up? Can I wrap it up with the last statement?
Okay.
Since our government is so useless, It's part of the job of a Minister of Arts and Craft. Bonan has said it before.
Oh, darn.
How can I say? They're not putting in the energy to people. And I can't find out after SABC and
one
all that. Your talent must be out there. It must be brought to light.
Exactly.
But they're just capitalizing on social media, which that can be governed. But for those who are truly talented, it's for the duty and the rights of the government as also prominent figure who are out there to actually nourish and help them grow. But us, let's say, if it's not for me to take my energy and invest it into the people.
Fair.
So I also heard, it may be a rumor, during or when COVID started, there was a rumor that 500 billion, most of it or some of it went to celebrities.
Say stop.
There was that thing Baileba fundiwa. For what? You just don't know. Mara, I'm not going to mention the names,
please don't.
But there are celebrities who were funded from this 500 billion. We put it for A. So it goes back to Vele and Tricky One to say, even the government itself is funding celebrities and not the other children that need the opportunity.
Allocation
but anyway,
funds.
I think I'm done.
What? Guys, it's been an informative episode. We have to wrap it up. No BTW this week because I feel like there was so much anger that we needed to put out there. But one thing I'd like to say before we shut it down, guys, please make sure that the conversation continues on social media and our comment section. Every person actually who's been commenting week in, week out on our live chat and actually on the comments. Subscribers are growing. Thank you, guys. We see you. We love you. We appreciate you from the boys.
All platforms.
Yeah, man, from the boys and that one girl. Shout out to you guys, man. We will see you when you see you again. Don't forget, comment, share, like, subscribe. Tell another friend to tell another friend that Mona Badi Busa, Skomota, my boy, do your thing and buy me an ice pairs while you at it. That's what's up. Makhadzi. Did it? Shut up, friends.